Hi, I'm Al Davis from CurbThoseCravings.com, dedicated to your long-term healthy weight loss through whole foods plant-based eating. This is part of the Cooking 101 series, and today what we're going to be talking about is heirloom tomatoes. Now, what are heirloom tomatoes? Heirloom tomatoes are tomatoes like they had many years ago before they became hybridized and became uniform in shape, uniform in color, and before all of the flavoring got bred out of them. So the only thing you have today in the supermarket, at least in the wintertime, is tomatoes that travel well but don't taste like much of anything. Heirloom tomatoes are quite the opposite. They're delicious, but they do have their own share of difficulties. One is well, you look at them and they're not like what you might be used to. So here's one particular one right now. I'll bring this over to the camera so you can see what it looks like. Now the first question that would come to my mind is, how do you cut this thing up? Look at the size of this. Look at the size of this. This is my hand. This is a massive tomato. So what are we going to do with this thing? Obviously, you're not going to slice it like this for putting onto a bun. But what you can do is do this. Now you do something similar with these other kinds of tomatoes. Notice the variety here. This one you could make slices out of, but you still got all that stuff all over the end. The backside is perfectly okay, but this one is the same sort of way. The front side is okay. Then you've got kind of a convoluted backside. How do you deal with it? Well, that's what I'm going to show you right now. So let's talk about the easiest one first. We're going to use this little yellow tomato. This is an heirloom variety. And the question is, what knife are we going to use? Well, so often people use one of these little paring knives for cutting and slicing tomatoes. And these knives are guaranteed to make you totally crazy. This is really the wrong tool for the job. You'll sometimes see them use a boning knife like this. This is a little better, but it's really not the thing you want to be using. The best thing you want to use is a chef's knife, a chef's knife like this. This is an 8-inch. You can get them smaller or longer. Or the other thing is a Chinese chef's knife. Now, this is my knife of choice, but I'm going to do my demonstrations with the 8-inch chef's knife, since that's the thing most people are used to. This is very easy to handle. I'll give a lesson on how to use that thing at some point. Anyway, the other trick to cutting tomatoes is you want a knife that's razor sharp. You want a knife that's what's called tomato sharp. Now, this one is going to take, that is strong enough to cut a tomato. This one is going to take 2 knives, because we got this stuff on top, and then we got, the core to take out. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the stuff on top. You notice how easily that knife slips through the tomato. From there, what I want to do is get a paring knife or a boning knife. You're going to have more control with a paring knife, which is what I suggest. Then you just cut out the core like this. Just holding the thing and holding the knife, sawing a little bit, and then rotating the tomato. And we got a little bit more there, a little bit more stuff there. I'm not even going to worry about that, because the taste in that is going to be non-existent. Now, something like this, you can go ahead and slice. Slices very easily with a sharp knife, as you can see. When you're slicing tomatoes or anything, I always find when you're about halfway through, you go around to the other side, and that way you have something that's not going to fall over when you turn the tomato around. So we're going to keep these. Next one we're going to peel, next one we're going to take apart is this red one right here. Take the stem out of the core, which is not cooperating here. So we're just going to leave it exactly where it is. This is something I'm really not going to worry about. You may want to take it off. Doesn't matter. Again, we take the paring knife, stick it in there, holding it at an angle, and go around the core like so. This should pop out easily. If you want to take that off, you can. I'm not going to. So just slice it off like so. Now I'm going to demonstrate what happens. Oops, we got some stuff in the middle there. We'll go after that in a minute. Well, I'm going to demonstrate what happens if you don't turn it around like I suggested doing. All right, we're just going to continue to go straight like this. Now it's harder to cut that last piece. All right, so you're not having to deal with. So again, turn them around like I mentioned in the earlier part of this, when talking about this here. Now we've got. I don't know if you can see that, there's a little black spot there. Let's get rid of the black spot. Oops. And again, on this side of it, it's kind of nasty, so we want to get that out of there. around it. This isn't much good for anything, so make sure the tomato's not spoiled, which it's not. This is perfectly good. So let's look at this other slice here. And the other slice is nothing on that side. So let's work on the side that's not looking too good. We'll take all of that out of there. Now we have perfect tomatoes. And this we get rid of. Get rid of these in the bowl. So let's look at this one here. This is going to be more challenging. It's got a bigger core. It's got stuff along the sides. It's got this whole thing in the back. And it's got a bad spot right there. So how do you deal with it? You may have been a little intimidated by one of these and how to open it, but you won't be after this. All it takes is a little practice. It's really not rocket science to open these tomatoes up. First thing I would do would be I would cut at an angle like that. We're going to do the coring all at once. We're going to core it like this, and we're going to core it like this, and then we're going to core it like this, and sometimes you can still get a bite off at the end. Like this here. Yep. And so we've gotten some little tomato pieces. These funny looking tomatoes are ones you can't really count on for super good slices like you can with the others. Although you can slice them. Where'd that bad spot go? It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. And again, I turn it around to make it easier to slice. You can cut them into chunks too, by the way. There's nothing written in stone that tomatoes have to be sliced. And then I'm going to take this thing off the back here. See the advantage of a sharp knife? It just takes all that scuzz right off the back. And let's just cut this into pieces right now. And if you want to do more trimming, you can. I find that you can't really taste it, so I don't usually bother with it for the most part. So let's see how far down that bad stuff goes. We're just going to dig that out of there. Yeah, this is dripping all over the place. Let me smell it. Let me feel it. Everything's fine. And you can take the stuff off if you want. I'm going to take it off just to take it off. Just cut down ever so slightly. And we got a little bit of core left there. And take that out. Now we got a perfect piece. Whoops, I thought we had a perfect piece of tomato. We will in a minute. So I'm just going to take this piece off at the end. And this off the end here. Now this I'm going to have to go around. This piece will come off easily. But this I'm going to have to go around because I don't know what's in there. This may seem complicated. Once you get moving, it's really not difficult at all. You just cut off whatever isn't good. So let's cut this off and see what we have. See, I got it almost all over right there. So here's your scuzzy part. It was just very small. It was just that one spot. And we keep that. Is that a good piece? That's a perfectly good piece. And again, we're just going to cut this up. And that's all there is. That's all it takes to slice and cut up heirloom tomatoes. Hope that was helpful. And one more thing. Make sure you have a big cutting board. This is 12 by 18. Don't go working off a postage stamp sized cutting board. It will make you crazy. You'll drip stuff all over the edges, and you won't have enough room to do your preparation. And that's true not just on tomatoes, that's true not just with tomatoes, but with everything. All right. So there you have it. Everything you've always wanted to know about heirloom tomatoes. Go out, enjoy them while you can. The season is very short in Boston, where we are. It only lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then they're gone for the whole season. So enjoy, and if you saw this video anywhere other than curbthosecravings.com, please head on over there because there's a lot more free and useful material over there. Kindly leave a comment below, like it, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.